What's going on, everybody? It's Bulls Nation Station back at it again with another one. And the Chicago Bulls have completed their first preseason game. And unfortunately, it came out in a loss. The Chicago Bulls lost 129 and 125. And it was a very interesting game to check out. You know, it was a few highs and few lows that we definitely have to correct. And yeah, I'm going to get into that. But before I do, I want you guys to subscribe to my page as I keep you guys updated with the Bulls content, the Bulls rumors, the Bulls gossip, and the Bulls news. And yeah, I'm going to get into it. So, you know, the Chicago Bulls played the Pelicans, and I'm not going to lie, the Pelicans came out on fire, especially from the three-point line. You know, Javonte Green was hitting threes left and right. You even got people like CJ McCollum hitting shots while he was in there. You know, just seemed like everybody was hitting, you know, Valanciunas and Zion. You know, Zion was just being Zion pretty much, and he looked good out there. But I'm going to talk about the Bulls. And so the Bulls, they got out there, and you can clearly tell their chemistry wasn't 100%. You know, their rotations was just a little bit slow. You know, there were areas on offense where they wasn't in the right positions when they were trying to pass it to each other. So you could tell they were still learning. And, you know, that's pretty understandable for the first preseason game. But, yeah, it was getting bad. You know, you combine the Pelicans hitting all their shots with the Bulls missing. You know, they got down to almost a 20-point lead pretty quick. And so, you know, you could tell that there's a lot of rust heading back into the season, but that's why the preseason is here. I do expect the Bulls to get a lot better. And yeah, you know, as far as individually, I feel like Nikola Vusevich, he actually had the best game of the Bulls today. You know, he came out, he was aggressive. You know, he was down there in the paint taking his buckets to the hole. He hit a couple threes when he went out to the three-point line. And it was better because he actually played inside out instead of outside in. I feel like that helped his shot, and he was active on defense. I mean, Vusevich had 4 blocks, y'all. And so, you know, I'm actually giving credit for Nikola Vusevich for actually staying ready and coming out to play. As far as Io, he actually looked pretty good also. You could tell his shot release was a lot quicker. He's been working on that all summer, and that's pretty good to see as you've seen him knock down a couple threes. And, you know, his intensity was good. He just needs to work on that chemistry as far as defensively and offensively, you know, with his other teammates. But individually, I feel like Io looked pretty good. And DeMar, you know, DeMar does DeMar things. You know, you could tell at the beginning of the game he's focused on trying to get everybody involved. But as the game wore on and the lead started to get bigger for the other team, you know, DeMar DeRozan, he had to get his shots up to try to help bring them into the game. And, you know, that was pretty cool. Zach LaVine, I could tell he was a little tentative this game, as he didn't want to go all out, especially for a preseason game. As he said after the game, he was just making sure he didn't injure or hurt himself for the start of the regular season. And so you could kind of tell, you know, that's what he was doing. He was still in the process of working his way back to full game shape. So, you know, you could tell he wasn't 100 as far as being in shape and ready for the game. But yeah, Zach still looked good. He had a couple of nice shots. He had a nice fading away 3 at the three-point line. That was pretty nice. And so yeah, Zach LaVine, he's gonna be all right. As far as Patrick Williams, you know, Patrick Williams picked his spots. I feel like he played solid defense against Zion. It's just Zion Williamson and Zion Williamson. But as far as just, you know, holding up, you know, physically, you know, I feel like Patrick Williams did an all right job. He did hit a couple of nice shots, hit a nice pull-up 3 when DeMar fed it to him out. I just want to see Patrick Williams a lot more aggressive still, you know, when he get the ball. It's like he's making aggressive moves to the hole, and now it's just about making those aggressive moves, getting the ball in the hole. So that's the next step for Patrick Williams, but I feel like he's going to get better over time. And, you know, the next player I want to talk about is Javonte Green. And Javonte looked good out there. You could tell he was excited to get back on the court. You know, I feel like Javonte came in and brought a whole bunch of well-needed energy to the team. And he was flying all across the court. He got a couple steals, had a couple of nice dunks, you know, and he hit a couple threes. I feel like Javonte played an all-around game today, and that's excellent. You could tell that, you know, he's carving a role out for himself. You could kind of see the position he's in the rotation. You know, he's going to be that backup power forward, which I predicted. You know, he's going to be ahead of Derrick Jones Jr. in the lineup as of right now. But yeah, Javonte looked good. He had a couple of nice acrobatic layups. And yeah, if Javonte Green can expand his offensive game, he's going to be a huge piece for our team. And that's awesome to see. And you combine that energy of Javonte with the likes of Alex Caruso, it's going to be awesome, especially defensively. Caruso, he came in, he played okay, he had a couple of nice shots. He especially had a really good third quarter when the Bulls was having a run to get back into the game. He had a couple of nice and ones and things like that, and played some okay defense. It could have been better, but you could also tell Caruso wasn't giving it his all in the preseason, trying not to get hurt. And so that's pretty cool just to see them getting back out there on the floor. As far as our new players and Goran Dragic and Andre Drummond, it wasn't really too much to be excited about for this first game. I feel like Goran Dragic didn't really look good. You could tell he was rusty and trying to figure out his spots, which is surprising because, he played this summer. But yeah, Goran Dragic, he looked pretty off, defensively, offensively, just trying to figure out where and how to get in the spots he needs to get into. He did hit a nice little jumper head into halftime, but yeah, Goran Dragic definitely got to play better. He didn't play in the second half also. Kobe White, yeah, he came in, but he got hurt pretty early. He had a left thigh contusion, and he wanted to get back in the game, but the coach and the medical staff was like, just rest this out and come back 100% for the next game. So we really didn't get to see that much of Kobe White. But the guy of the game outside of Vusevich, Dalen Terry. That guy came in and brought the energy we all expected. I was on the Shy Bulls podcast talking to the Kanye boys, talking to Hayes at Chicago Bulls Central, and we all predicted that Dalen Terry would be the surprise player of this game, and he surely did that. The energy he brought to the team, that brought the spark and brought them all the way back to where they possibly couldn't have won the game. That was Dalen Terry. He had a dunk where he caught a technical because he was so hyped about it, and that's the type of energy we really haven't had since the likes of a Joakim Noah. So if Dalen Terry can improve on his skills, can improve on his game, he could definitely carve out a role for himself on his team. And so yeah, I'm definitely excited to see how Dalen Terry is looking. Him playing with the likes of a Javonte Green or the likes of a Caruso, things like that. It's pretty cool to see. He even made a nice turnaround backdoor pass, which Carlik Jones missed, but it was also pretty nice just for him to see that. And yeah, shout out to Dalen Terry, man. He brought the energy. He said all the right things. Yeah, that's pretty much, what I noticed from the players. Shout out to Malcolm Hill also. He also played well in the final minutes. But as the rotation stands right now, it's looking like, Io is the starter. Goran is coming off the bench. Drummond's coming off the bench. It's looking like Javonte Green is ahead of Derrick Jones Jr. in the rotation. And it's looking like Tony Bradley and Marko Simonovic is at the end of the bench. I mean, it is amazing how Marko didn't log not 1 minute in his game. And that just shows, the favor that Billy Donovan has. He's just not a fan of Marko's game right now. He feels he's not ready. So look forward to Marko going back to the Windy City Bulls if it's an early prediction. Coach says he's super interesting. While he's super raw and super talented, he's definitely a while ready from getting real NBA minutes. While he didn't look good while he was in, but he did have a couple nice athletic plays. But yeah, the next Bulls preseason game is Friday when they'll be playing the Denver Nuggets. So we're going to cover that around then. But definitely subscribe to my page and like this video. And I'm going to holler at you guys later. I'm out.